Good afternoon. It's not morning this time. I'm here on the late nights about to start a new dress. So you see where we're at. We're in the stone room and I need to pull some stones because this dress is gonna be so pretty. Let me show you this drawing. So here's this drawing. So I'm calling this dress Alicia Keys number 2. New dress alert, new dress alert. So this is my second version of the Alicia Keys dress, 0 stones. You get a sneak peek of that orangey coral dress in the background. That was the last dress. If you go into my YouTube channel, you'll see and watch that video if you like. But this is the second version of the Alicia Keys dress. I'm just showing you where my piano keys are going to be laid out. That's kind of designated by those red lines. Piano, and I'm gonna figure out a way to make this abstract piano look gorgeous. And these red roses, we have tons of red specialties, so I'm definitely gonna pull some of those. Let's get to it. So the red specialties are up there, and the jet specialties are down here. So I need to climb all the way to the top of this shelf because I am a short girly and I actually have heels on today. Oh my gosh, my Apple Watch completely tanned my wrist. Oh, it's hot here in Arizona, but I gotta reach it. But for now, I can grab these jet. We can see what we can work with. Hopefully we have some baguettes that I can use for those piano keys. Let's see. What's this in here? I might be able to use those. These are the gigantic baguettes. I don't know if I can use those, but I'm gonna pull them. Let's grab another jet box. Okay, I climbed up there and I think I got everything that I need. Stacks upon stacks. I got some red Lights I Am specialty moons, those shapes, these archer shapes, these eclipse shapes. Some pears. I think I might go down here and grab some more pears. Size 18. And then one more, size 28. All right, now let me stack them up and head back to the desk. I actually still need to put the dress on the mannequin. So we might have to go grab the mannequin as well. Oh. Well, while we're walking, welcome back to the show. This is why it's Tiffany So Talented. This is the show where I show you exactly what I'm doing when I'm not making your shea butter soaps, your hot cocoa bombs, your custom face masks. I just opened my TikTok shop where I'm selling my custom headbands that could possibly match your custom face masks that you can get on my website, www.TiffanysSoTalented.com. But this show is about the dress, and they're always gorgeous. None of these are dresses that I worked on. I just want to brag on my coworkers really quick because they are equally as amazing as I. All right, so I cut a few pieces. I even cut some really thin pieces because I have to separate the piano keys. So that's what these thin ones are for. Oh, you guys, I am getting a cold. I just got over pneumonia. And now I feel like I'm getting sick all over again. Sheesh. Well, let me put this velvet back. and all my supplies. Then we can start the placement of these piano keys. This is the rotary blade we use. I don't know what brand. Fiskars brand. This is the cutting mat. We got the big one. I think the big one is like $50 at Joann's. I have a smaller one at my house. It was like $30. All right. Got my Gore cell phone stand. And let's get to this dress. So, you saw the dress naked with no stones on it. So what I did was just cover that string line with some invisible marker in blue so I know exactly where to place my velvet. So let's get to placing. All right, so I don't know if you can see this really well, but there's a spike here. So I'm gonna take this little thin piece of velvet and cover that line entirely. All right, so again, use your pins. Always use your pins, especially when you're trying to create a curve. And make sure that you kind of stretch the fabric out a little bit. And after we glue these pins down, after we glue the velvet down, excuse me, told you guys I was getting sick. But after we glue the velvet down, we're gonna frame the velvet in jet. Remember, I pulled all those beautiful jet specialty stones. Those specialty stones will be going inside of the piano keys. Not necessarily on the frame of this velvet piece here, but on the keys that are going in between. All right, so that is one. Let's do another one. And I did have to recut the velvet because some of them were just a little bit too thick. Let me see if I could. This might work. It might be long enough. I like to push my pins in. I don't know about y'all, but I do. I like to use the same color pin. I don't know what that is, but I do. Each section that I do that I'm using pins with, each section that I do that I'm using pins with, I like to keep the pins the same exact color so I know what I'm doing and which ones I did first. Yep, I think that's it. Now let's work on this one on the back. Now this one is kind of going slanted on the hip. This one is a little thicker in the middle, so I'm just gonna cut it a little thinner. All right, so the piano placement velvet is in its proper placement. It's gonna go across the bust and down the hip around the bottom and down. And then the second one is gonna go, I think I'm gonna curve this a little more, but the bottom, I like this curve down here. So this one goes there, and then there's gonna be some red roses, the stem, and then the flower, and then maybe the stem, and then the flower, and then on the back there's another one, so the stem, and then a flower at the bottom, and then another stem and a flower going this way. There's gonna be a flower up here, and a flower on the bust here. I wish they would have made the bust line the plunging V, like how it is in the drawing. So, because it looks like the piano is broken up, right? And it's not. It's totally one piece of piano because they didn't make the V plunging enough. And I'm covering where she had the threads because this is where she wanted the piano placement, but I might have to change it. I don't know, because it is a rack, so I have the freedom to do whatever I want within those kind of guidelines on the drawing. So I might change it up a little bit. I don't know. But let's glue these velvet strips down. Another day. I was looking at the picture and it looks like the dress has some tassels, like bugle beads, silver bugle beads. So I think that I'm going to grab some of these spinny looking ones. We have a few different kinds. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I definitely can. Some, the bead is actually spinning, and some the bead is straight. Oh, still a little sick. I don't know where it came from. I have been going up to the hospital to see my mom and touching elevator buttons and all of that type stuff. Makes me want to wear gloves. But I think I'm gonna go. I was gonna bring it and kind of cinch it in here and then bring it back down, but nah, I think I'm just gonna leave it. So what I'm gonna do right now is just frame this black velvet in my jet stones. I made a makeshift belt because it does show that it has a belt. I might have to ask my coworker to make a black velvet belt for it. Oh, my nose is so stuffy. But anyway, this is where we're at today. And I'm gonna add the flowers and the bugles. I think we'll do the flowers on a small project alert. Look, I'll put that here. But it's gonna be pretty. So let me frame this out, and then we can start placement of the keys. I think I need to go back and get some white opal or some electric white because piano keys are white, right? So how are you today? I'm obviously still feeling a little sick, but I got to work because who gonna pay these bills? Let me find this electric white. All right, 2 16s, 2 20s, and let me find some white opal because I don't know which one I want to use, but I want to have all the options. And white only comes for us in either Swarovski. Let me turn this camera around. In Swarovski white opal or electric white. Now let me put this phone down and I'll open these packs so you can kind of get a understanding of the difference in color. All right. So I actually like these opal a little better because it has an undertone into it, but the electric white is perfect. So I might end up using the electric white, but we're gonna go do a sample on the dress and we'll figure it out. As fast as this process looks, it's really tedious and it really took a long time. So here I'm just placing the lines for the piano keys, and in this video here I got it all done nice and placed all the way up from top to bottom. So I peaked it right at the top of the shoulder, went down across the torso and made the longer lines on the bottom. I had to pin it up like that so you can see, and I make sure that all of my lines are straight. So I definitely had to pin it up, but I think it looks amazing. Similar to that picture right there. Yeah. I just got to get my flowers from the Small Project Alert on there, get everything stoned out, and get the keys put on. So I cut all of my pieces of velvet for the keys, and I think that it looks good. Unbeknownst to me, the piano keys are 3 keys. What is it? 3 black, skip 1. Something like that. I think I'll talk about it later in the video because my boss came to correct me. But I got all of the placement on the back of the dress and the keys going in, everything getting glued down, and it's looking nice. It's looking nice. All right, so after some time, I decided to flip the keys to the top of this one instead of down at the bottom, so it can just look cohesive with the bigger piano all the way around. Got everything glued down, and now I'm gonna go into framing. So with framing, I'm gonna use these size 34 in jet just to frame the lines. I think I might end up using some of these jet specialties for the keys, either these, or these emerald cuts. I did pull some of these for the bigger piano keys pieces. See, like this. So yeah, got a variation of different sizes to use, and I'm about to get into it. This is the fun part, right? Alright, so we are back to the piano dress. I am dubbing my Alicia Keys number 2 because I did an Alicia Keys dress prior to this one. I did all of my outside framing. I framed the inside keys with this beautiful Swarovski. It's kind of a rectangular, rounded rectangular shape. So what I'm gonna do now is go in, and on the inside line of this frame, I'm gonna stone with maybe size 16s all the way up and down, and then I'll start using my specialties to create the actual keys here, and then stone inside here with the white stones. So I have electric white, of course, and some white opal. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of mix of both, and we'll see how that happens. Well, how that comes out. Okay, so I've got a dilemma. I started to stone the bust here, and you see this kind of that has the goldish tinge is the white opal. What looks gray is the electric white. The issue is they both are reading very much gray, and I need them to read very much white. You know, piano keys are ivory, right? Yeah, ivory. So this white is not white enough, and this white is that fire that you see in the stone is reading gray. So we are back to the piano dress, and I did this really pretty frame around the openings to kind of give it a piano feel, but not really. On both sides, and around the top V. And my boss told me yesterday that that ain't what a piano look like. She said it's 3 black ones and then an empty white one. Well, this is an abstract piano, but I'm about to start these flowers. Now, if you've watched my old Hollywood video, if you've watched just the recent purple pale flower video, it's the exact same process. So I'm not gonna do a small project alert for it. If you wanna see it, I'll link the videos in the comments, or I'll put one of them up there just so you can see what it's gonna look like. So I already jumped ahead and glued all of the pieces down with the wire inside. And then these ones are just 2 pieces of velvet smashed into interfacing. And I'm just gonna cut the petals out of that. But I will show you what I'm doing on the way. But it won't be a step-by-step guide of how to make the petals, because you see they're already done. It's a pocket in the inside. Oh my gosh. So I'm almost done with this beautiful piano dress. Good morning. As you can see, isn't it gorgeous? I'm adding some bugles. I don't know if you know what bugles are, but if you've been watching me long enough, you know. They're these beaded tassels. I'm adding those all over the dress next. You know what? Let me let you get into it. Isn't it gorgeous? Julia said it looks like a work of art. Priscilla said my piano is off. It should be 3 black notes and then 2 blank notes and then another 3. I said, well, I have 3, 1 blank, 2, 1 blank, 2. This is a custom keyboard. But yeah, it's cute. Let me show you the back. I don't know, it's looking a little kitschy to me because of the flowers. My flowers, I feel like, are too big. But it is what it is. It's no going back now. But it's coming together. I still have to finish adding some bugles to some other places. But other than that, this dress will be done. It's not getting an under sprinkle. Julia said it doesn't need one, but I still might go in with these tiny little size 12s and just sprinkle everywhere. Just a little bit. But so far, it's gorgeous, right? All right, so I got all the bugles in, done. Now I gotta go in and, oh, you see all of my AirPods over there. Anyway, I gotta go in and cut all the strings off my bugles. It's gonna take forever. I finished, finally, all the bugles. I finished the roses from the small project alert. Don't they just make the dress stand out beautifully? I made some beautiful green stone vines. I love the way that that came out as well. I'm talking over the final video because this dress just got whisked away soon as I was done with this video, so I didn't have time to really go over all of the things that I love about this dress, but it came out amazingly. I hope you love it, and if you do want to see how I created those flowers, I did do a small project alert. I know that I said that I wouldn't, but in the beginning of the video I said that I would, so I ended up doing it, and I love it. And as you can see, the keys are white, so I did solve the dilemma, and you can watch that video on how I solved the dilemma as well. And thank you so much for watching.